everybody, this is Heather Sides. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spokane, Washington, and every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time I come on here and I show you 3 new projects for the week. Usually they're cards, but every now and then I'll throw in something a little bit different. I am just getting everything set up, so give me a minute, hang in there while I make sure that everything's coming up on my screen. I want to be able to see your comments. So let's see. As soon as we get that all set up, we can talk about a few things going on and some housekeeping stuff, and then we'll get going on our cards. So let's see. And Lucy says hello. She just gets sassier and sassier every day. So hopefully she's not going to do that throughout the entire live tonight, because that will drive you bonkers. So let's see here. So I do have everything up here. Hey Marcy, welcome. I came in on the very end of your live today, so as soon as it was over, I went back and I watched it from the beginning. I loved your cards. They were awesome. Okay, so, and I left you a note that said you might be stuck with me tagging along on your Disneyland excursion too. So I'm kind of toying between going to and going to Arlington for various different reasons. So anyway, just so that you know, that is a distinct possibility. Oh yay, Eric says he got his prize today. You're very welcome. I'm sure you've got plenty of uses for it, or know someone who might. So let's see. Okay, so you're okay now? All right. So like I said, Lucy is getting sassier every day. She has been a great addition to our family. Though I'm pretty sure actually that she thinks she's the one in charge around here. And who am I kidding? She is. So we've got that. When a few more people are on, I'll pick her up. And, oh, nope, she wants to be picked up now. So hang on here. This is Lucy, for anybody who didn't see her last week. And she is a little sweetheart, but she's smart, very smart. And, you know, we have to stay 2 steps ahead of her, or she will leave us 10 steps behind. And I think that's the way she wants it. So, let's see. Oh, okay. So, I do have one thing to tell you about this week. It's a confession. I did something really, really dumb on Monday. And she is floofy, Marcy. She is very floofy. And she still has puppy breath. And I know, people either love puppy breath or they hate puppy breath. And I am like the only person in my house that loves it. Everybody else in my house hates it. I go over to my mom and dad's. My dad loves it. My mom hates it. So, yeah. But she has these giant, giant feet. So I think she's going to be a big girl. Okay, so anyway, my dumb thing I did this week. Okay, so I always itch really, really bad. And lotion doesn't help. For some reason, my itches are like way beneath the surface. Like I don't have dry patches or anything like that. My itches are way below the surface, and normal methods of scratching don't do anything for me. And lotions and creams, and I've tried it all, nothing works. When I itch, I itch. And so I have had to resort to very unique and probably bizarre methods of getting the itch. And, you know, I have scars from it and marks, and I don't care as long as I get the itch, to tell you the truth. Okay, so anyway, at work, my shin area itched, and so I have this pocket knife, and I was scratching with that, you know, where you hold it, well, I have a pocket knife here for the same purpose. So, you know, I hold it up like this straight, and you scrape against the skin straight this way, right? Okay, so I was going to town on my leg, scratching, and you know, it happened so fast, I don't really know what happened. I don't know if I just accidentally changed the angle of the knife, or if I lost quite a hold on the knife, or what exactly I did. But I ended up doing this big, like, 5-inch gash in my leg, and it was bleeding everywhere. And you know, I work from home a couple days of the week, But on this particular day, on Monday, I was working in the office, and I share an office with my boss. So I had to confess what had happened and said, yeah, we probably need to do something about this, because I mean it was bleeding really, really bad. So my boss is freaking out. Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, whatever, we'll get it figured out. She's like, you need to go in and get stitches. It's so bad, blah, blah. So basically, to kind of, make her feel better, I was like, okay, I'll go in and see what they say. And we'd gotten the bleeding mostly to stop by then. It would start again if I got up and walked around, whatever. That's all. That's normal. So I was like, okay. So I drove myself to urgent care because I was feeling fine. And got out of there 10 stitches later. So, yeah, of course I get there and they all have to ask, okay, what happened, da da da. So I have to confess my sins to everybody who comes in the room, telling them that I was just being dumb and I was scratching my leg with a pocket knife and sliced this gash in my leg. It was really embarrassing, it was humbling, and I totally deserved it because it was dumb, I know. So anyway, yeah, so that was the big excitement this week. And then I'm supposed to get the stitches out next Thursday, but I'm having shoulder surgery next Thursday. So I'm going to see if they'll do it on Wednesday instead. Which brings me to my next announcement. Next Wednesday's video, or live, will actually be on Tuesday because we have a work function Wednesday night that I have to go to. So I will put up reminders reminding everybody that it's on Tuesday, still 6 p.m. Pacific time like it is now, but it'll just be Tuesday instead of Wednesday. I don't know how long I'm going to be out of commission with my shoulder. The doctor says I'll be able to use my hands in about a week. I'm hoping sooner than that. I don't know. I tend to heal really quickly, but as everyone does, I've gotten older since my last surgery, so who knows. So I will keep everybody posted after that as far as when I will be back live. But when I do come back, I'm hoping it won't be more than a week or so. But either way, I'll keep people posted, and I will let you know. It will be on, it'll go back to Wednesdays. It's only that 1 week next week that I'm doing it on Tuesday. And then we'll be back in action like we normally are. So if you have any questions about that or anything, you are welcome to send me an email or a Facebook message, whatever, let me know. But my surgery is Thursday. I don't even have a time yet because they call me on Wednesday and tell me what time to come in for surgery the next day. So yeah, that's my plan. So, again, any questions, let me know, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So let's go ahead and get the camera turned around for some housekeeping stuff, and then we'll get going on this week's cards. So hang on just a second. Okay. Marcy, yeah, the surgery is outpatient. Most everything is anymore, right? So I go in and have it there, and then, when I can prove that I'm not going to throw up from the anesthesia, they'll send me home, I guess. So, yeah, and then I don't even go back for another week. They don't even look at it again for a week, where, I've had surgeries before where they want to look at it after like 3 days or something just to make sure. Not the case with this one, so, whatever. But I feel like I'm in good hands. It's Spokane's largest orthopedic office. They have specialists who do shoulders and specialists who do hands and specialists who do this and that. So they're a good outfit, so I'm not worried about it. But there it is. Okay, so let's see here. My messages stopped for a moment. It looks like Nell joined us. So welcome, Nell. And Susan joined us. Welcome, Susan. So let's see here. Marcy, I thought about that, just calling and asking them if they could take out my stitches for, during the surgery. And I may still do that. So I don't know. We'll see. It's all fun and exciting, right? Okay, so first thing I want to bring up is Sweet Sunflowers. That is next month's Paper Pumpkin, or this month's Paper Pumpkin, however you want to look at it. Today is the last day you can order it. I think it's going to be really pretty. It comes with 2 ink spots this month, and kind of a cool, there's not a picture here, but this cool gold background ephemera type of thing. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's cool and it's pretty. And you know, sunflowers are always such a big hit with everybody. So even if sunflowers aren't a big thing for you, you can make lots of beautiful cards that you know people are going to love. So today is the last day you can sign up for that. You can do that on my website at heathersides.stampinup.net. That leads me into Celebration. We're on the wind down now. Only 21 days left of Celebration, where when you place an order of $50 or more, for every $50 you spend, you get to choose one of these amazing gifts that's in this little brochure. And these are all shown online as well at my website, heathersides.stampinup.net. So if you don't have your hands on one of these little brochures, you can still see it. See the choices online, and there's some really amazing stuff. Now there are a couple of things that are already sold out, and they just won't be available to choose when you go online. But my point is, once they sell out, they don't replenish them. So if you go on and you see something and you're like, oh, that's great, okay, I'm gonna wait to order and then I'll get, you know, my free gift, it may be gone before you come back. So that's just something to keep in mind. You may want to place your order sooner than later, and no limit to how many of the gifts you can get. So if you place, you know, a $50 order, you can get 1. If you place a $500 order, you could get 10. There are a couple of gifts that require a $100 purchase. You can get any combination of the $50 gifts or the $100 gifts, anything you want, no maximum, like I said. So it really is a fantastic deal. And there's everything. There's stamps, there's dies, there's designer series paper, all sorts of fun stuff to choose from in here. In addition to that little brochure of things, August 2nd, Stampin' Up! Released 10 more products that are available to choose as your free gifts during Celebration. And everything on this sheet, I know it's kind of hard to see the detail with the black and white printout, is stuff that's actually available in our annual catalog that normally you would have to purchase. But you can get them for free with your Celebration order. So again, something to keep in mind, that there's lots and lots of choices of free goodies. So definitely take a look at that before Celebration ends. Okay, now let's see. Oh, Marcy, yeah, you were talking about firearms education, and now I'm talking about pocket knife tricks. Yeah, the two of us, we could really get into some trouble, couldn't we? Okay, so now I want to go ahead and do my drawing. All you have to do to get your name into the drawing is comment during you're watching the video, whether you're watching live or watching a replay here on Facebook or later when I upload it to YouTube. Just comment. You can say hello, say where you're from. You can ask questions. You can make comments about what you're seeing. You can have conversations with other people in the live experience here. Any of that. I just really like to encourage the conversation. And so when you do, your name goes into the drawing, and then the following week, a couple hours before I go live, I do a drawing and I include everybody who commented, whether they commented during the live here on Facebook or commented on a replay here on Facebook or on YouTube. Your name goes into the drawing. So our winner from last week's video is getting a package of these genial gems. I think they're so pretty. They're nice and sparkly and beautiful. I love them. And this week's winner is Ramona Blakely Culp. And Ramona, I have your address, so I will get these popped in the mail to you. Congratulations, Ramona. Okay, so let's get going on our first card. With the first card, I'm using our Stylish Sketches stamp set. This is one of the free gifts you can choose with Celebration. And then I'm also using the stamp set Good Feelings. This set is available for sale in our annual catalog. And I love it because it's got nice big sentiments. And I really like when you've got a big sentiment and you can kind of just decorate around that. That's kind of fun. And I'll show you the card we're gonna make. It's fairly simple and it's got a little bit of a masculine feel to it. You could still send it to a woman, but you could definitely give it to a man and not worry about whether or not he might think it's too girly. So this is the card we're gonna make. It says thank you on the inside, but you of course could put any message in there that you want. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll start with the envelope. I finally got envelopes, you guys, so we're good to go there. Move some of this stuff out of the way. And what I used for my designer series paper here is I am using the Cajun Craze designer series paper with our regular colors. You can get designer series paper packs of all the colors in the different color families. You can get them by color family. So this of course is in the Regals, and all of the different families have all the same prints. It's just all the different colors that are available in that particular family. So let's go ahead and get going on this envelope. Oh, you know what? I just realized I don't have the light on. There we go. Hope that helps a little bit. A little glue here. Never a naked envelope. That's what our founder says. So let's see what we've got here. We'll line it up just so. You know what? Nell says she's liking the stamp set better and better. I am the same. At first it was like, oh, that's kind of nice, but I'm not a big nature-y person. I'm just not. And it didn't call me. But I've seen some really nice stuff done with this set. And I like it because a lot of our nature stuff is floral. And, maybe someone's not really into floral, but they're not into the cutesy stuff either. And so I really did, I am starting to really like this. I'm kind of sad to see it go because I kind of want to play with it a little bit more. Okay, so there's our envelope. I see that Cheryl joined us. Welcome, Cheryl. Kathy joined us. Welcome, Kathy. Okay, now I'm using the colors I'm going to be using Cajun Craze. This is another sheet of the designer series paper in the Cajun Craze, and I'm using Crumb Cake. So just a normal half sheet, 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. You guys know the drill. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Cajun Craze and my piece of designer series paper. We're going to go ahead and fit these together really quick. Okay. And now I'm going to take, I've got some baker's twine here. I've got 3 pieces. Do I have 3? I should have 4. I have 4. I have 4. Yes. Okay. No, I have 3 because this is what I'm doing here. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Lucy, I'm not letting you out because I'm afraid you'll go pee. So you can stay in here. When Dad comes home, he'll probably let you out, though. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and take my Terran tape, and I'm just going to tape that onto the back of my paper here. I'm going to wrap it around a couple times, and then I'm going to tape it down again. I'm going to kind of cheat the way I'm tying my bow this time, just to show you that, if you have a hard time with bows, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You don't always have to do it the same way. If you have a hard time, try it one of the other ways. Okay, so I've got it wrapped around a couple times here, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 pieces here. They're the same length because I want to do a double bow. And I'm going to tie my bow around, oops, bear with me here. I'm going to tie my bow around the pieces that I just taped on there. Oops. Try that again. There we go. And now you just kind of fiddle with your loops until you get them the size you want them. And well, don't worry about the length of the tails quite yet, because you can always trim your tails. See, pull it nice and tight, and sometimes that pulls your loops a little bit bigger, so then you have to play with it and kind of futz with it a little bit more, and that's okay. There we go. For now, I'm going to cut these about this length. And I may trim them a little more in just a little bit. Let's make sure they're relatively all the same. They're not, and that bugs me. So let's get them all the same. There we go. Ta-da! We've got our little double bow. Just kind of play with your loops a little bit to give it a little body. There. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that for the moment. Now, when we are done, what we can do is, if you don't like it being totally sideways like that and you want it to turn a little bit, all you have to do is stick a little glue dot under there and it'll hold it at the angle you want it. So just a little life hack from me to you. Okay, so now it looks like I forgot to get myself a little strip for the inside. So hang on, I'm going to do that really quick. Okay, sorry about that. And I'm just going to cut a little piece that's about 1/4 of an inch long. Or I'm sorry, 1/4 of an inch wide. Is that really the direction? Oh, I did it go in the other direction. That's okay. That's okay. We can do it this way this time. What I was talking about is on this one, the stripes go this way along the bottom, where on this one, the stripes are going this way. But that's okay. Okay, so a little bit of glue. And we'll stick it down on, this is a little piece that I cut for the inside of the card. We'll cut off the edges here, the extra. Okay, that's kind of funny. It wouldn't get off. Okay, there. Now, let's glue that to the inside of our card. Oh, I should have glued that to the front of my card, and I did not do that, did I? Wait, so we've got a little bit of gluing to do here. Okay, stick that on there like so. Try to line up my margins. Okay. That's a little bit crooked. Just a little bit crooked. Okay. There. That looks better. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, do the inside. Gosh, I don't know what my problem is tonight, you guys. Maybe when I sliced open my leg, my brain fell out. Okay, and I should have stamped this before I glued it down, and I did not. I mean, I still could, I suppose, but I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave. Okay, I got a little glue there. So I'm going to take my glue eraser. It's just an adhesive eraser. You can get these on Amazon for a couple bucks. They're nice and cheap. And I use mine all the time, so I really recommend getting one. Okay, there we go. Now, let's do a little stamping here. I'm going to stamp my message in the Cajun Craze. And the message I'm going to use is thank you. Try to line it up here. There we go. Clean off my stamp. Okay. And then let's put this one away because everyone knows the damage Heather can do. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I have this other little stamp. It's from the same set, and it's just these little speckly things. And all I did here was, oh, poop. I got that little edge right there, and I don't like it when I do that. There. I'll probably go back with my sand eraser later and try to get rid of that. But we're going to leave it for now so that we can keep on moving. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do our fox. And I should have just kept that stamp out because I'm going to do a little bit in the corners here. Just like so. And then I'm going to take my Memento ink here. And I'm going to stamp the fox. These sketches have such great detail. I mean, Stampin' Up! Really does have some amazing artists. Okay, there he is. Make sure you put your ink pad away. You don't want it to dry out. Then what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of my aqua painters. Thank you, Lucy. We appreciate your input. And I've got just an empty block, nothing on it. Hey, Shelly, welcome. I see you just joined us. Thank you, Lucy. And Marcy, you know, that is a great idea. Maybe they'll put my brain back in during shoulder surgery. You know how much extra they'd probably charge for that? And it's not like it's served me all that well thus far. Okay, so now I have, this is one of my re-inkers for Cajun Craze. I'm just going to put a couple of drops on there on my block. The blocks are a great way to do your coloring. You know, put your ink there and it gives you a nice surface that cleans off really, really easily. And I just realized I forgot a paper towel, which I will need for that. So I'm looking to see if I have any paper towels in here that I can use. I do. Okay. Okay, this one's gross, and I just want you to know this is not blood. This is Cajun Craze from the last time I did this project. So don't be grossed out. I know it looks really yucky. Okay, so now I'm just squirting a little bit of water on that ink. And I just work it like that. See how dark it comes up? Okay. So I'm going to start by just getting the areas where I want it a little bit darker. Again, Stampin' Up! Does such an amazing job with the art that there's really not a whole lot you need to do to be a great artist. And I love that because guess what? I'm not a great artist. Okay, so then, let's see. Get this going. So I'm getting a lot of it off there because I just want it a little lighter. Maybe add a little more water to dilute it so that it's kind of like using when you use your blender pens and you have a light one and a dark one. Okay. And so now this is like using the light one because I added more water to it. Oh no, I just went outside of his body there. Maybe we leave that. Thank you. Okay. And then I'm going to take my paper towel and just wipe it off. And I'm going to go ahead and go like this. This get the color off of my brush, so it cleans off my brush. I'm just squeezing water out and then painting with it on my scratch paper here. This color kind of sticks with it for quite a while, it looks like. Okay, so then I've got my crumb cake, and I am going to do something very similar, but I had such a small space to do, I didn't want to bother with getting a re-inker out. So what I did is when my ink pad was closed, I put it upside down and I squish it with my hand, like I do a little CPR on my ink pad. Hey Karen, welcome. Okay, pick up a little bit of ink from there, maybe get it a little bit wet. Don't add too much water when it's in your lid though, because it makes a huge mess and it dilutes the pad and it's just yucky. Okay, so there we go. I just wanted to give him a little bit of ground there. Okay, clean off my brush again. Okay, that looks good. Close enough, good enough for government work, right? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat tool because I just want to let this dry a little bit because it's kind of tough to stick down wet paper. So we're just going to dry it with the heat tool. If you don't have a heat tool, it's not a big deal. Set it aside. Maybe do this as your first step, and then it'll probably be dry by the time you're ready for it when you put all the other pieces together first. Welcome, Nell. I see Nell joined us. Okay. There we go. Now it's dry. So now I'm going to glue it onto a little piece of crumb cake, cardstock right here, just like so. And now we're going to put it on our card. Now, if your bow is too far over, remember you tied the bow around this piece, so you can slide your bow if you need to. So let's see here. I'm going to use some dimensionals, or you can use foam adhesive, sheets, whatever delights you most. Okay, take my little backs off. Karen, when this is over, you'll want to go back and watch the very beginning because little Miss Lucy is in the video and you'll get to see her. Okay, so I'm just lining this up with the bottom of my bow. Make sure this is straight. And if you use this particular DSP, Designer Series paper, make sure that you're lined up with the lines there, because if you aren't, it definitely shows that it's crooked. There we go. And there is card number 1. Easy peasy. Oh, no, I lied. We still have more to go. We need a few embellishments, right? So I'm going to go ahead and these are our brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. And I'm going to use the, I don't know, is that rose gold? Is that bronze? I don't know what it is, but I'm going to use it. So let's get a big one here. We'll put it right, let's put it right about there. And then we'll put a couple little ones on. Using my Take Your Pick tool, you know I use it for lots of different reasons. It is a must-have tool, and it's only like $10 or something like that. So well worth what you pay for it. Okay, so now we have card number 1 done, and I mean it this time. So there we go. And there's our inside. Okay, you guys ready for card number 2? Talina, I'm glad that you like it. I did see your message or your comment that you've been wanting to see someone do it and see how they colored it. I've also used my watercolor pencils to color it. I've also seen people where they didn't color at all. They just used the DSP to bring out the color. So there's a few different ways you can do it. Okay, next card we're doing. This one is going to use the Blessings of Home set, and you can actually get these dies as one of the free celebration gifts right now, which is really an awesome deal. They are available for sale in the annual catalog if you would rather pay the full amount. And then the coordinating stamps. And then I'm also using, this is our silver and gold designer series paper. It's another one of the celebration gifts you can choose. See if I can figure out where the top of the bag is here, because I want to show you what you get. There's 4 different prints. There's this stripe and then polka dot, and it's stripe and polka dot in silver and gold. And you get quite a few sheets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets of each one for a total of 24 sheets. That's pretty good. Okay, so, oh, now my bag's closed. Come on, little bag. Let me show you what we're going to make. So this is the card that we're making with these products. And let's see, for the inside, I just stamped a little bit. So there we have it. Let's go ahead and get started. Start with our envelope. And what I did for the envelope is I got, let me show you here, this stamp. And I am using the Blushing Bride ink. Oops, you know what I need? Whoops. I need a mask of some sort so that I don't get ink so I don't stamp all over the envelope. I only want to stamp on the flap. And every time I stamp, I kind of turn it at a different angle so it doesn't look like a super precise pattern. Clean off my stamp. Actually, I shouldn't clean it off just yet. What I should do is take this. Let's do all of our stamping right now. So with this, I'm going to do just a little bit in the corner for the inside of the card, just like so. And then I'm going to clean this stamp. I have one other thing that I'm going to stamp, but I think I'm going to wait actually to stamp it till the end because I want to be able to line it up with everything else that we've done on the front of the card. And so I want to make sure I get it right where I want it. So I will wait to do that stamping. Now it's mostly just a matter of putting this card together, and it's nice and simple. Whoops, am I missing a piece of white? Hold that thought. So I'm just going to cut a little piece here. Hey, Susan, welcome. And this piece is going to be 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this silver piece right onto the white. Probably a little more adhesive than what I really need, but you know what I say, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. There we go, just like that. Then I have, you know what, we might as well put this on this piece now. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is our Blushing Bride. It's kind of funny, we have 2 shades of pink. One is Blushing Bride, and it's this one, and the other one is Petal Pink. And I think the Blushing Bride is more of a pink, and I think the Petal Pink is more of a blush. Okay, there we go. Now I have all these fun little bits. And these are all pieces that I cut out using the die cuts. I'll show them to you, or the dies, I'll show them to you again. Just so you see what I used. Okay. These still have the dams in them, so you want to make sure to get your dams out. And usually they pop right out like they are right now, but if you're having a little hard time, or maybe it's harder with long fingernails, I don't know, just use your take your pick tool and you just poke it. Okay, so got that one. Got a bunch of little flowers here of different sizes. And I have some that are white and some that are pink. Get them so they're all right side up, so when I go to use them, I put the glue on the right side. Okay. Get rid of all this garbage I've got here. Okay, then I have a few more little branches that I did. Ta-da! Just like that. Okay. Now, clean off that little mess. I'll show you the dies again. So I cut this one right here, and then I cut 2 of this one, and I cut 2 of, hold on here. Yeah, 2, hold on. Maybe I'm a liar. Yeah, I cut 2 of this one and 2 of this one right there. Just so we had a few different shapes. Is that what I did? Yes. Okay, all right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these guys right here and these guys right here, and I wanted to add just a little bit more dimension with a little bit of different color, but I didn't want an actually different color. I just wanted a little bit different shade, okay? Okay, so what I've done is I took these are cut out of our soft succulent. So then I took the soft succulent dark blender pen, and I'm just going to, or Stamp and Blend, and I'm just going to color them. That way, they're going to be the same color, they're just going to be slightly darker. And then I've got a couple different shades for my greenery. Takes a minute, but it doesn't take too terribly long. That one's upside down. And I'm not going to color the big one because I still wanted something in the lighter shade. There. Now, oh, and the other die I used is this one. You can see there are 3 little flowers, and it cuts them out separately, actually, and that's how I ended up with all the different sizes. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and glue this guy down. There are a lot of ways you can do that. You can use our adhesive paper that you put on the back of your paper before you die cut it. You can take a glue, you can take your, let me show you, take your silicone mat and put some glue on there and then a sponge dauber and just daub the back. In this case, I kind of liked the sprigs sticking up a little bit in random places, so I didn't want to totally glue down every piece. Hold on, my dog's eating something. Ugh, Lucy, I don't even know what that used to be. All right, no idea what it was that I just rescued from the dog, but it's safe now. Okay, where did my, there it is. So all I'm going to do though, because I do want it to stick down well, but I don't want it to necessarily stick down everywhere. So I'm just putting a few little dots of glue. Oh, I see a place where I didn't get one of the dams out. I want to get it out before I lay down the piece. Right there. There we go. See, there's not a lot of glue on there. That's perfectly okay. And I'm just kind of laying it over the edge here. Hold it down for a second. Give that glue just a moment to adhere. And then the other thing about only putting glue in a few spots is then as you're playing with your pieces here, you can kind of stick them under the other piece in different spots. So what I'm going to do is put a little glue right there. Let's see. Use my Take Your Pick tool to lift it up in places. Got another one here. We're going to do it down here on this side. Whoops. Hold on, Lucy. And then I'm going to fill it in with these little guys. Again, just another little drop of glue. Doesn't take a lot. Let's see, how do I want to do this one? I think I'll do it on this side. Do this one. Lucy, no. Poor thing, she wants out of my office really, really bad, but I don't really trust her wandering around the house by herself yet. I barely trust my husband to wander around the house by himself. Okay, there. So now I've got those pieces in there. Now I'm going to add my flowers, and I'm going to put down a couple of the big ones, a pink one and a white one. And I kind of did that here in the center. And I did play with this, like with some gems, putting them in the centers of the flowers, and it just looked kind of weird. You can certainly try it out, see if you like it. If you want to step it up with those gems, it just, like I said, it just didn't really work for me. I should have another pink one that's a little bit bigger, and I do not. Where did it go? That's okay. I'll use a little one. there. And we'll use maybe a little bit bigger white one up here. Whoops. Let the glue stick for a little bit. There you go. See? Now I've got all my little flowers stuck on there. See what I mean? I wanted to know exactly where my spacing was going to be before I stamped that sentiment on there. So let's get that taken care of. I have the thank you sentiment and my Blushing Bride ink. Hey Christy, welcome. Okay, and let's see, we'll put it right about here. Oh, it's crooked. That's okay. I'll just send it to someone who will love me anyway. Oh my gosh, I am so silly. Remember how I cut this piece, or I cut another piece for the front because I said I didn't have it? It's because I stamped, this was the piece that was supposed to be on the front because the card is white. You don't have to put an insert in the card. My goodness, what's wrong with me? I'm gonna leave my ink pad open because we're gonna do that in a minute. Okay, so now I have the polished dots. Put a few of these on here. And you can see, it's hard to see. They've got kind of the Blushing Bride and sort of a clear here, and they're nice and shiny and sparkly. Oops, it's stuck to me. I need to let out some more of the putty on my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, and then maybe I need to get a refill for my Take Your Pick tool. Let's put another little one just right there. There. Now we have our card base here. And it's just a half of a sheet of basic white. You know the dimensions, 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, and Christy, it's not a problem that you're a little bit late. This is only the second card, and I do 3. And then I also upload to YouTube when this is over, so you can watch the replay here on Facebook, or you can go watch it on my YouTube channel. By the way, if you guys are liking what you see, I love it when you give me some thumbs up and likes and share this video. That helps me a lot. So let's go ahead and stick this down to the front of our card. Okay. To the front, not the inside. Goodness gracious, what's wrong with me? Okay. There we go, line that up just like so. And then we're gonna stamp the inside. There we go, that's all. And then I'll save that piece that I stamped for another card. Maybe you'll see it again next week. Okay, so here's our card. Oops, this piece, I maybe do need to put just another little dot of glue under this, or it's going to keep getting bent out of the way. So let's see, just maybe a little bit, little dot right there. There we go. There we go. Now it's safe. Move that out of the way. And so now we have card number 2. Oh, you know what? Again, not done. Let's tie a little bow. I have some white baker's twine. I love, you've probably noticed this, I love baker's twine for bows because it just gives nice, just kind of soft, subtle little bows without being big and bulky, and I really like that. Okay, now I'll take a glue dot. Thanks, Christy. Super easy to do. Okay, so now I'm going to get my little glue dot off of there. Maybe. And I'm going to put it right here, the center of these two flowers. And then trim my tails. What do we think? Do we like the tails shorter like this, or do we like them longer like this? What do you think, guys? Christy says that baker's twine and linen thread are her favorite. I totally agree with you, Christy. Hey, Judy, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in. Oh, Susan just got her Take Your Pick tool. It arrived this evening. Oh, Susan, you're going to love it. You're just going to find so many ways that you use it. You're going to wonder how you ever lived without it. Okay, there we go. There, I compromise. Sort of long, sort of short. How's that? Okay, so anyway, there's card number 2. You guys ready for card number 3? Okay, let's see here. This one looks like it has a lot going on, but it's actually deceptively simple. Put a few things away here. And we're going to use the Stylish Shapes dies. We're also using the Wonderful World stamps and designer series paper. You can get the 2 as a bundle as one of your celebration gifts when you spend $100. And then I'm also using the go-to greetings. Just for clarification, when I said you can get the 2, I was referring, hold on here, to the designer series paper and the Wonderful World stamps, not the stamps and the dies. So this is gorgeous paper. I love it, love it, love it. I wish it was in the annual catalog because I would use a ton of it. Okay, so, and go-to greetings, this is in our annual catalog. Okay, Talina says she loves this use of the DSP. Well, good, I can't wait to share this card with you. Okay, so this is the card we're making. See, like I said, it looks like there's a lot going on, but it's really quite simple. There's the inside. Easy peasy, right? Okay, let's start with our envelope. Get rid of these bags. I always try to put the bags away. Let's do our envelope. This one I'm just gluing some of the designer series paper on here. So those of you who have gotten to take a peek at the different celebration gifts, whether you've gotten them yet or not, what are your favorites? I'm curious to see what everybody loves. Okay, so let's trim off the extra here. And if they would keep, say that just one of the celebration gifts that's in the brochure, let's pretend that they said, we'll bring it back in the next annual catalog. Which one would you want it to be? Kathy's got to go, so thanks for joining us for a while. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and a great week, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Marcy likes the Tree Lot dies. I do too. I think they're so cute. And I got some, and then they went out of stock before I even got a chance to play with them. Oh, thanks for sharing, Christy. Got a little bit of glue here on my envelope, so I'm going to take my adhesive eraser and just get it off. See how easily that comes off? It really is very nice. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Now we've got all our pieces. Now this card base is also a half of a sheet of cardstock, but I cut it lengthwise, so it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Talina's favorite favorites are the Wonderful World bundle and the Tree Lot dies, running a close second. So, yeah, I think they did pretty well with this year's, or this batch of celebration gifts. Colleen says she likes the tree ring papers. Good for lots of seasons. That's so true, Colleen. And we also have stamps in the catalog that coordinate with it, so that's kind of nice too. Okay, so let's start putting some pieces together. We're going to start, let's do the inside. Did I forget my little piece? Oh, nope, it's right here. Do the inside of our card, just like so. And what I actually did is I stamped first. I'm using polished pink. And I am using this flower, the rose from that stamp set. I'm with you, Talina. I would love to see that. And then dies that go with the flowers. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, so here now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going in the corner. And I'm going to clean off my stamp. And now I'm going to put this piece right at the bottom. So I'm kind of going over the bottom part of that stamp, but then it looks like the stamp is coming up behind it. Well, the stamp is coming up behind it. Oh, that's I thought it was a little glue booger, but it was actually a little piece of baker's twine. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up right on the bottom there. Wiggle it around so that it's lined up flush with the bottom. And now I'm going to cut off the extra. Okay. And then since I have my ink out, what I'm going to do is I have a piece here. This is just a scrap of basic white. And I'm going to cut a couple of, or I'm going to stamp a couple of the roses. Make sure these line up okay. Okay, there we go. As Talina and I both mentioned, it would be nice to see him come out with dies for this. Alas, we do not have dies for it, so I'm going to be doing some quick fussy cutting. Set that aside for the moment. And I do have a little banner here. Since we're doing our stamping, I might as well stamp this right now too. And that came from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I am using my garden green ink to go with the garden green card base. Here's my sentiment. Now a little tip I'll give you. For the sake of this video, I cut the banner and now I'm going to try to stamp it straight. Not always so good at that. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll stamp it on just a regular piece of cardstock. And then, see, well, it's kind of crooked, but oh well. What was I going to say? I'll stamp it. Oh, and then I will cut around it so I can set up the die to make sure it's straight the way I want it. And you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I can't handle that. So I have a little piece of my crumb cake. I'm just going to stamp this right here. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because we're going to make the die straight around it. What do you want, little lady? Okay, put the ink away. Okay, so now I have my mini cutter here. Where's my die? I'm going to go right here. And the die I used was this one right here. Before I do that, I'm going to line it up, figure it out the way I want it, get it centered, get it straight, all that good stuff. I'm gonna get it held in place with my Post-it tape. That looks straightish. So we'll go like that. Now put my plates on here. We'll do this quickly. Thank you for your opinion. I know. That's all you ever say. Okay. Sorry about the shaking, everybody. And now, when I take this off, save this for later, it should be straight on here because I put the die on afterwards. So that's a little tip if you have a hard time getting them straight like that. And on narrow ones like that, I often do. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going like this, just a little bit, like when you curl ribbon. Okay. Now let's do some quick piecing of stuff. So I'm going to start with these pieces. There's no stamping on them, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere them all together. Get my little border on there. Oh, she definitely has found her voice. She definitely has. She has opinions, and it is important to her that we know her opinions. Okay, now I have a piece of our ribbon. I can't remember what this is called, but it's just a nice linen. You can stamp on it. It's gorgeous. I love it. And we're just going to wrap it around. So I'm going to take enough. Lucy. Okay. Going to take it and wrap it around. Tape it in place. The card base is garden green, Christy. Okay, got that lined up where I want it. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, now let's go ahead and we're just going to stick it on there. And I did use foam adhesive sheets for this to pop it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take my big scissors to cut it. And what I want to do is, let's see, I want maybe 4 of these. We'll see if I need 4. I may only need 3. And I'm just going to stick them right there like that. You know what? I think I'm only going to need 3. Just like that. Put that extra one away in my little baggie that I store for future use. Make sure you've got this going the right side up. See, I put my ribbon on the top on this one, and I really meant to put it on the bottom. That's kind of silly. I wasn't paying attention to which way my flowers were going. That's okay. We'll see how it looks. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take this piece, and there's a couple of ways you can get kind of this roughed up edge. What I typically do is I just kind of fold it and do this. Kind of just mess with it. and just go all the way around. The other way you can do it is you take your snips, excuse me, and just distress the edge like this. It does end up looking a little bit neater, I guess. I don't have as good a luck doing it that way, so that's why I like to do it this way. You'll find what works for you. Try it both ways, see what you like. And then what I did is I kind of rolled up 2 of the corners. Oh, you know what I forgot to do though? Flatten this back out again. I took my, let me find it here, polished pink ink and a blending brush. And I just kind of went around the edges like this. It works a little better if you do it before, hold on, Lucy. If you do it before you roll up the edges, because it does really darken on those edges that are lifted up. But you can still do it after if you forgot, like I just did. Okay. And I did that just to give it a little bit more dimension and shading. And now I'm just going to glue that on. Okay, and then I have this little square. Let's glue this inside piece in. There we go. Now let's do some quick fussy cutting. I will do this as fast as I possibly can, you guys. Fortunately, these aren't too bad to do. When I was making this card, when I was designing it, I was trying several different layouts and ways I wanted to do it, and I ended up fussy cutting about 10 of these. So by the end of it, I had it down pretty darn quick. Oh, looks like I want to go all the way around here. Oh, I think my husband's home. I didn't realize he was home. That's why Lucy was barking at me. She wanted to go out and play with him. Okay. Remember, move your paper, not your scissors. Just gives you a little bit smoother cut. See, this goes pretty fast. Oops, oopsie poopsie. Okay. You know, Talina, I've said this before. I do it a lot. I do a lot of fussy cutting, and it's just one of those things that if you dig in and start doing it, it does get easier. And all the tips that people give, like moving the paper and this and that, they really are things you have to get a feel for, and nobody can tell you exactly how to do it. So the more you do it, then you start to get that feel for it, and that makes it easier. So there's one. Let's get the other guy. I'm going to shut my door. Okay. Now, Lucy can drive my husband crazy barking at him. Okay. Let's get this one here. I may need to come back and trim that stem. That's awfully big halo around it. You know, Christy, I have heard a lot of people say that they like fussy cutting because it relaxes them. I can't say that it relaxes me, but I do hear that a lot. So I do think that is a real thing. Okay, whoops. But you know what I like even better than fussy cutting? I like them coming out with dies that do it for me. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of doctoring on this one. Just little areas that aren't quite so smooth, or they're a little too big, or whatever. But it's easy to go back in and do those little touch-ups. And I think knowing that is also part of the reason I'm able to get through these pretty quickly, because I know it doesn't have to necessarily be perfect the first time through, because I know I can go back in and touch it up. Okay, let's see here. No kidding, the silhouette makers at Disneyland, they're amazing. Here in Spokane, when I was a kid, there was a man who hung out at the park, and I don't know what his story was. I don't know if he lived on the, I don't know if he was homeless or if he just hung out in the park. But he would do those silhouette ones, but he tore them with his fingers. He didn't even use scissors. He was amazing. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rough up the edges on this little square, just like I did on that piece of DSP. Just like that. And I'm going to glue my little roses on there. You can use your Stampin' Seal, Seal Plus, your Tombow, whatever tickles your fancy. Oops. I'm going to get them kind of like that. Then I'm going to take, remember this guy that we kind of curled up a little bit with our bone folder? Okay, well now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of, you can use dimensionals or foam adhesive. Just trying to see if I have any really skinny pieces of foam adhesive. Yeah, I do. We'll do that. I'm just going to stick it on there like that. Maybe add a little bit more. Dimensionals would have worked there as well. This was just at the top of my pile. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now and I'm just bending these ends up a little bit more. And I'm going to lay it just like so. And then I have a little bit of baker's twine. Make a little bow. I do not necessarily need loops that big. There we go. Get a glue dot. I'm just putting it, I want to put it on the kind of the edge of this little banner. Like that. Now we'll put this on our card and then decide, oh wow, that's really angled, isn't it? There we go. We'll put this on the card and then decide how much of the tails to cut off. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. I used dimensionals just under the heads of the flowers to pop them up a little bit. That's what I did. And then, did I use? Nope, I just glued the square down. So I'm just going to put one there, put one there. There, like that. So they're glued down here, but they pop up right there. Now, oh no, I forgot I had adhesive on there. Okay. And I put this piece on straight. There we go. Make sure my tails are the same length so that I don't lay awake at night thinking about it. There. There we go. And that, my friends, is card number 3. So let's clean up a little bit here. We'll take a look at what we made tonight. If you, like I said before, if you liked what you saw tonight and you need to buy some of the supplies, you can purchase them at my website at heathersides.stampinup.net. And even if you don't make a purchase, I love it when you do likes and thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon. And then that way you get notified when I upload videos. And that helps me out a lot too. I've been working really hard to grow my viewership base on YouTube, and I'm really excited. My next mini goal, sorry about that, guys. My next mini goal was 250 followers, and I'm at 201 right now. So I'm so close, you guys. So close. Okay, so we have this one. Christy says she likes the vintage look on this one. I do too. I love vintage. I really, really do. So there's this card that we made tonight. We have this one with our different little boughs of greenery. And then we've got our one with our fox. I bet you he's really a coyote though. Maybe he's more of a coyote. That's okay. Color him this way and he looks like a fox. Okay. So that's what I've got for you guys tonight. I sure appreciate you joining me. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you. Thank you. I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. This is my favorite part of my week. I love coming and stamping with you guys. If you have any questions or anything that you want to comment or even request, I would love to hear it. You can contact me at stamphappenings@gmail.com, or you can send me a message here on Facebook. If you decide to go shopping, I would love to earn your business at my website, heathersides.stampinup.net. If your order is under $150, if you could use that host code, that would really help me out. That's what helps me to be able to continue to bring you free videos and prizes and such. If your order is over $150, and it just might be with that celebration deal going on, don't use the host code. The host, because in that case, you'll be your own host and you will have free gifts coming to you from Stampin' Up! And I want to make sure that you are the one who gets them. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Remember, I'll be here on Tuesday next week. Same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, but it'll be Tuesday, and I will send out reminders. So have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.